The Arizona Wildcats are your regular season Big 12 champions, the tournament champions as well. And Damon, they might just be the best damn team we've ever seen.
Let's go! Welcome on into the AZ Wildcats postgame show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by our friends over at Circle K. Of course, I am your host, Damon Fairall. This is my guy, Kevin Thomas, my co-host. We got the freckled mama himself, Ayrton, hitting buttons for us on the ones and twos, as my good friend Derek Montilla likes to say. And the Arizona Wildcats are not only Big 12 regular season champions, but they are Big 12 conference tournament champions after sweeping the Houston Cougars, which were the aforementioned boogeyman before this season starts. And Tommy Lloyd's squad has pulled off what is, probably been deemed before the season as close to impossible, because this was truly one of the remarkable, not only Arizona college basketball seasons we've ever seen, but just college basketball seasons in general, finishing the season with 2 losses, 32-2, Kevin. You haven't played a tournament game. You have 32 wins. Those 2 losses, you felt like they were, very, very avoidable. And now you go through and you just work the conference tournament like you just did. How are we feeling, my man, after that one? As a guy that has believed about as much in this team as anybody all season long, predicting win after win after win after win, Kevin, and being proven right time and time again, got to be on cloud 9.
I am. I mean, this is genuinely, it's the greatest basketball team I've ever watched. As a fan of the sport, as a fan of the Arizona Wildcats, like their balance, their depth, their poise, their readiness for the moment at all times, their readiness for a response when they're punched in the mouth, even when they're ahead and they get punched by one of the best teams in the country, they always have a response. This is one of the greatest seasons the Big 12 Conference has ever seen, and that is not nothing to shake a stick at, I should say. This is one of the most storied basketball conferences in the country. Programs like Kansas, right, just running this conference for so long. 3 years ago, Houston comes into the conference, and now all of a sudden it's the Cougs conference. They own it, right? 2 years ago now, Arizona enters the conference. First year, you finish third, make the tournament championship game. Second season, what do? Best start in conference history. Longest win streak in conference history. 2 losses, all Big 12 season. You win the regular season championship by multiple games. You come into the Big 12 tournament with a double bye, right? You win the Player of the Year award, Coach of the Year award, Sixth Man of the Year award. Your coach gets Sporting News Coach of the Year this week as well. And what do? You go to war with Iowa State. You come out on top after one of the most monumentous shots in program history. And I know how some people feel about us saying that, but it's true. The story is not yet finished. That shot let you get here, where now you are the Big 12 Conference champions, and you've gotten the monkey off your back the Cougar off your back in Houston, which has been a team that until this season...
The Sampson off your back, if you will.
Exactly. Until this season, you could not beat Kelvin Sampson in Houston, and here we are. This is a huge, huge coup for the Arizona basketball program to have capped off the regular season the way that they have, and we talk about how important it is. Like, some fans are like, oh my God, I'd almost rather them just lose to Iowa State so that we don't have to play multiple games going into March. No. You want the most momentum possible heading into the most important time of your life. If you are some of these players, you want to feel invincible. Would you have rather Arizona lost to Iowa State and not had Delly get the injection of confidence that he said he felt like he was shooting into the ocean? I'll have one more of those, please, in the NCAA tournament. This team needed the confidence that they got from that Iowa State win, a historic victory, and then they cap it off with a double championship in the Big 12 tournament. You asked me how I'm feeling, Damon. I feel vindicated. Job's not finished. I want to say that off the top of the pod. We're going to be very celebratory today because the team deserves it. What a season it has been. But tomorrow, we know that team flips this page and they get prepped for the NCAA tournament and Selection Sunday. So I say all that to say, Damon, I feel vindicated in my faith in this team. It is an electric day for the program, but job is not finished. Let's become the first team since the year I was born to make a Final Four. In the hell, let's become the first team since 4 years before that and cut down nets. This team has the potential to do it.
No doubt about it. No doubt that they have the potential to do it. And, you learn a lot, I think, about, a team and a program and I think a coach, right? And like how he wants his roster to look over the course of, maybe just this move to the Big 12, really, because in the Pac-12, it used to feel like, oh, we won the Pac-12 tournament. That's cool. We should have, right? What was our competition? Tiger Campbell and Adem Bona. Like, you should be winning the Pac-12 championship when that's the only guys that could potentially take you down. And in the Big 12, it was not a given whatsoever. You had a fantastic regular season. You go into the Big 12 tournament, and you knew you had a gauntlet ahead of you. You knew it was going to be either Iowa State or Texas Tech, most likely. You knew it was going to be, Houston in the championship game, right? And so I'm sitting up here, and I'm just, this team, I don't think that they are finished. I don't think that they do feel that way. Jaden Bradley interview on this very same channel, McHale Madness with Corey Williams and Saul Bookman. He's talking about, we went into this season with 2 goals in mind: Big 12 tournament championship, national championship. That's 1-2, right? And that has not been completed yet. You celebrate today. Tomorrow is all about business. All of a sudden, we're scouting whatever team the NCAA tournament selection committee matches up against Arizona. Then you're scouting the next team, right? Because, you most likely have what it takes to beat a 16 seed. But this season has been special, and I really do not get the feeling that they're finished, as you said. Like, I think that the main thing will stay the main thing here, and that is, bigger aspirations on the line, cutting down nets when it really matters, truly matters for Arizona fans in particular. Because how many conference championships have we seen? It's great to get the first Big 12 one off your back. It's great to beat Houston in doing so and get revenge for last season, but at the end of the day, Arizona basketball has enough conference championships. We've seen it all, and we're going to celebrate that one on this post-game show, but everybody knows what the real end goal is, and that's tangible wins in March.
Put your 4s up. Usually it's 5s, but we're trying to get to the Final Four. You know what I mean? Put your 5s up for B5 as well. But definitely, to Damon's point, we all know what the main goal is, and it's to be one of the last 4 teams standing, and then to be the last team standing. So, yeah, I'm glad we let it off with there as well. And
we have some great T-shirts, Kevin, that I feel like it'd be a great time to show the people in the chat. No better time to celebrate a Big 12 tournament championship than with our new T-shirt collection that we have here for the AZ Wildcats podcast. Kevin, do you?
Yeah, it's at the top there somewhere.
Direct Ayrton in traffic.
I probably should have renamed it. It might be that one. It might be the one above that right there. We'll see. Not below. Yeah, the one below live show graphics. Either way, we have new shirts. We have new shirts and they're beautiful. I'll send you that, Ayrton. I think it's in Slack somewhere. I'll send it to you.
I apologize. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I'm excited about the shirts.
Yeah, you are excited about the shirts. But I was going to tell people to like the video. Deborah Owens was on top of that saying, like this stream. We have a ton of people watching, a ton of people ready to celebrate. Yeah. And we do have the shirts getting loaded into the stream here shortly. So we do have shirts and we are promoting them. Please buy these shirts. They are beautiful and they are wonderful. Wow, look at that. Special. Look at Wilbur playing hoops.
I mean, the We Run things is really pretty apt in a time like this, right? Like,
oh yeah,
absolutely ran through the Big 12 conference, whether it's the regular season, whether it's the conference tournament championship. Like, I mean, it was really never in doubt. I know Houston punches back. I know Iowa State gives you a run for your money, but you were the better team, full stop, in both of those games. I don't think either fan base would disagree with that, the opposing fan base that being. So We Run things, got that great pod logo with Wilbur with the headband on for March Madness. Perfect time to get in on these new shirts here at the store.ALLCITY Network locker. Store.ALLCITYNetwork.com. Yeah, I said I was going to memorize it on our watch along and blew it.
Can we talk about this game
at
hand, Damon?
Yes.
Because this game was incredible. You predicted it on the pregame show. It was going to be a slobber knocker, so to speak, a very close game between these two teams. And it was just that, right? Arizona trying to out Houston because... And we'll get back to the X's and O's here in a second, but I think thematically, it's very big to see Tommy Lloyd beat Kelvin Sampson twice this season, right? Why is it a big deal? First of all, the first game you beat him, you didn't have Koa Peat, didn't have Dwayne Aristotle. You're not working with a full deck of cards. Second time around, you're working with a full deck of cards. Big 12 title on the line. You get the job done. You're cutting down nets. You're heading into March as a number 1 seed. Probably, potentially, should be a number 1 overall seed as well. I'll add that in there. For Tommy Lloyd to come out and say, I don't know when he said it, but it was months ago at this point, that every time they play Houston, he's reminded of where he wants his program to be, right? So for Tommy Lloyd to be able to out-tough, outsmart, out-savvy, out-paint presence Houston is huge. Not only did he do it once, he did it twice. I think that is a huge indication of success for the direction of this program under Tommy Lloyd. And I've felt this way since he got signed day one. But I'll say this again, Damon, like for the people, for the psychos in this fan base that are like, oh, Tommy Lloyd can't get past the Sweet 16, blah, blah, blah. He's moving in the right direction, and you have to build on things. This is not a year one. We're just going to go straight to the national title type of beat. You have to get experience. He's talked about it so far this season that the games he's played with this team this year, coached with this team that's played those games this year, he's gained a ton of experience. The scars in March, a ton of experience. He's putting it all together now with the best team he's ever had, and we're seeing it. And to be able to out Houston again tonight, special performance from the players, special performance from the staff. Kelvin Sampson does not get out Kelvin Sampson by anybody twice in the same season. Barely does it once. So for Tommy Lloyd to outcoach that man twice, and for his team to out-execute Kelvin Sampson's team twice, special stuff.
We get our guy Connor Cox here in the chat, one of our ad guys here at PHNX Sports. Shout out to Connor, and he is directing us in way of Kevin, who 2 days in a row, Kevin, has now sent in super chat money for us to take shots of Casamigos post-win. So, Ayrton, would you mind potentially please going and running and grabbing a couple cups for your boys?
Dude, just classic producer at PHNX job. First thing, you're producing a pod.
Bartender.
Now you're a bartender.
Yeah, and the thing is, and Kevin and I have said this before, we can and will be bought.
Yes.
This is a fact.
Yes.
$9.99 super chat from our guy, Kevin. You know the drill. Casa Amigo shots on
Pour us up, Damon Dog.
Of course.
Shout out to Kevin for the super chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like this video. Run these likes up. Want to get in front of every Arizona Wildcat fan we can.
I mean, a little ASMR.
But ASMR
for the
there.
People.
But as Damon pours these up, I will say, like, this is a huge win for the Arizona Wildcats, and it is a indication that this is the best team in the country. Damon and I were talking about it, after the game ended. But if you don't believe that this team can win in every single style possible, you are a flat idiot. A flat idiot. Like, this team can win. This team can win no matter who's on the other side of the court. I feel like that this team has shown that over the course of the season. They've beaten every style of basketball possible, and they've done it handily. Today, it was a little bit closer, right? But I think they continue to show that there's no moment too big for this team. There's no opponent too savvy. There's no opposing guard that's too skilled. There's no big man that's too big. Arizona will beat you any way they damn please. And let's take this shot. Cheers to the Arizona Wildcats. Ayrton, can we get a DJ air horn sounder here in a second?
Big 12 champs.
Big 12 champs. Cheers, my brother. Cheers. Usually I can't actually cheers you.
It was unnatural. It was unnatural to do that.
It was. Usually, like, I'm looking at the screen because I'm used to seeing you through the screen.
We're cheersing each other in the middle of the screen. Yeah,
I got 100%. The Spider-Man meme. I'm like, whoa, there's two Damon Dogs right here. Anyway,
Kevin,
but yeah,
what a monster Tommy Lloyd built.
Yeah.
Like that's I'm sitting here and, we considered, and we'll get into it here in a second with our King of the Court, but full disclosure, Kevin's sitting here and he goes, is this another Tommy Lloyd King of the Court cop-out answer? Because what the hell did we just witness in this 2025-2026 season? I mean, this team has dudes up and down the roster that are ridiculously good, above their level, I would argue, of what they should be playing. Think of a Tobe Awaka. That guy is the centerpiece player for 85% of the teams in college basketball, and he comes off the bench for Arizona.
Right, I bet Rick Barnes, every time he watches an Arizona game, has an aneurysm, has a conniption, has no idea. He must be like the Mr. Crocker from Fairly Godparents, where he sees fairies, Awaka!
He's getting his assistant. He's like, come here. Are you kidding? Is that the same Tobe Awaka that played at this program?
Yeah. He's like, I could have paired that guy with Nate Ament. Are you kidding me? But
it's
crazy.
And you think of Jaden Bradley, right? He was the conference player of the year, but there are times where he takes a back seat and he says, I'm going to let Brayden Burries go to work. I'm going to let Koa Peat go to work, right? But when you need him to make those shots, he does so. This whole roster, it feels like they have all seeded a little bit of, usage and just, shot attempts, fame, trying to, be the centerpiece of a team for the good of the collective, which is winning basketball games. And that's, as we've talked about all season long, that is the image of your coach. That is Tommy Lloyd not only vetting the right basketball players, but the right personalities for this program, because all of these people, you listen to them, all they care about is winning. Jaden Bradley hits that shot. They asked him in the post-game interview yesterday against Iowa State, and his first response is, you know what, we don't get there without Delly being nails all game long.
100%.
First response.
100%.
It's not about what they do individually. It is about winning basketball games with this team, and that is a Tommy Lloyd masterclass at work that we just saw in this season, because, Tommy Lloyd has been about as good of a coach as you could imagine in his first 5 years as Arizona's head coach. His first 4 years even, right? 3 Sweet 16 appearances in the first 4 seasons, 3 conference championships, I believe, 3 conference tournament championships, like unbelievable, breaking records left and right. That being said, this is a different level. Tommy Lloyd took those record-breaking seasons that he had been a part of to start off a coaching tenure and has taken it to a new level, Kevin, because this season is just different gravy. And it's been potentially one of the most talented years of college basketball we've ever seen, and it didn't matter. Yeah. Still dominated the conference.
Yeah. You talk about the monster that Tommy Lloyd built, and we talk about, I promise I'm working back into tonight's game. Just walk with me for a second. We talk about Caleb Holt and what makes him special, right? It's a guard that can score at 3 levels, coming in and saying, hey, I want to play defense at an elite level. Mm-hmm. Tommy Lloyd is getting guys that fit this program and that want to win games like this and play in games like this. And if you don't think that this team is going to show up in March, you're a flat idiot. I'll say it again. It is what it is, right? This team is built differently. Tommy Lloyd's been telling you all year they are built for it, and this is what he's talking about. He's talking about a team that is ready for any and all challengers, any and all contexts. Starting point guard player of the year goes out with a wrist injury, whatever the hell it was. Houston goes on a huge run. No sweat. Let's just keep riding the wave, weathering the storm. It is a special team, man. A very special team, a very special season, and a very special producer is one Noah Wolbrecht with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Understood it on the third. Thank you, Noah. I'm not going to give you 3 more.
Thank you to my guy, Noah Wolbrecht, for making some unreal social graphics for us all season long, including the one that we posted after winning not only the Big 12 regular season, but the Big 12 tournament championship. Guys, go check that out on PHNX_Wildcats social. But I believe we do have our guy, Saul Bookman, waiting in the wings, ready to give his thoughts on Arizona winning a Big 12 championship. So let's bring him on in here. My guy, Saul, how are we living, brother? Unbelievable season. And as I said with Kevin, I feel like not only did Kevin every step of the way sit up here on this podcast and on McHale Madness and say, you know what, believe in this roster to figure it out. You did as well, Saul. So how are you feeling after, being vindicated in a big way like this?
It's kind of surreal. They just went through the best regular season and the best season getting to the tournament, the NCAA tournament in program history. This is a dominance like we've never really seen from Arizona basketball before, which is saying something because we have had some really, really good teams. But this team, I really just can't get over the uncanny ability of it does not matter who falls off in a game, who's off a little bit, who's just not feeling right. Inevitably, somebody else picks them up. And in this game particularly, in a variety of different ways, look at Jaden Bradley and Brayden Burries, for example. Brayden Burries comes out, throws up 2 air balls. He had airballed his last 3 threes yesterday.
0 for 7 from the field last game.
Yeah, 0 for 7 yesterday, but the last 3 threes that he shot yesterday were also air balls. So we're talking about 5 consecutive air balls. And I texted Kevin and Corey. I said, Brayden Burries going to the free throw line is key right now because he needs to see the ball go in. Sure enough, the next time he gets a 3 or he gets a layup and then he gets a 3 and then he gets another 3, and then he gets a nice little jump shot, and all of a sudden you look up, he's got 12 points within like the span of like 3 minutes, and he got cooking. Jaden Bradley started off the game really strong, but both of them kind of went a little MIA in the second half. So who else steps up? Koa Peat. Koa Peat offensively did a lot of good things. Yeah, Houston made their run, and you got to give them credit. Houston's a good team. I don't like
great team.
The panic that I saw on Twitter when Houston made that run. I'm like, guys, like, I don't know if you thought we were just going to like cakewalk to this, but we're not in the Pac-12 anymore. Like, teams are not going to roll over, and Houston certainly isn't going to. But they always find a way. Ivan Korchenkov hits a 3 off the glass, then he gets a layup. All of a sudden, they're back up by 7, and they're okay. They just have. I've never seen a team that 1 through 8 can pick each other up the way that this Arizona team has. I've never seen it. Not to this degree.
I mean, it's becoming all too predictable, Saul, of maybe the greatest Arizona team we've ever seen on a basketball court, proving it over the course of I don't know how many months it's been, and still. Fans through any run or any non-perfect stretch of basketball are like, oh, here we go. And I'm like, man, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. I was going to say though, Saul, we talked about it earlier. Like we talked about it last time they played Houston and earlier on this podcast. Arizona out Houston. And I know that we were talking about that over text as well today. So I kind of wanted to just lob it up to you. Just how major it's for Arizona to beat Houston at their own game twice this year.
I mean, and to be honest, halfway through that first half, when actually towards the end of the first half, when they kind of went up by 8, I felt like they really controlled the game from that second half. I didn't feel like it was particularly close. Obviously, they cut it to 1, and you felt like, okay, well, Arizona needs a bucket right here. Because I will say this: if they don't get a bucket when they cut the lead to 1, then it might be a different story. Because then now you're starting to play that dangerous game, but. It's just, again, like the way that this team really overcame adversity at the start, and then the way they attacked Houston. They did not let Houston get comfortable. Defensively, they threw sometimes it looked like junkyard defense at them just to throw them off their sense a little bit. They threw double teams occasionally, but they were very calculated. They didn't really trap a lot. But man, if they weren't physical, their straight up man-to-man defense was fantastic. And listen. I think the refs did a really, really good job tonight. I really do, and I know they get crapped on a lot. But the refs tonight did not allow Kingston Flemings to get bailed out on some fadeaway jump shots with his leg kicked out, as opposed to like calling those fouls. Because if they call those fouls, Arizona's cooked. There's no way that you can compete with something like that when a guy's flailing his legs out. And the one official, I can't remember his name, he didn't call the foul when Kingston Flemings came down and kind of twisted his ankle, which I thought actually, yeah, the right leg was out, but his landing foot was the one that actually got stepped underneath. And so, like, you could have probably made an excuse for a foul. But then, like, maybe a couple minutes later, Kingston Flemings shoots a 3 and legs spread out like the damn Jordan logo to try and draw a foul
on national television.
Yeah, and the ref literally looked at him and said, "That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to give you those calls." That's good. You should be telling that guy that. And I thought there was a couple suspect calls at the rim, but I thought overall the refs really let these guys play physical. I thought overall Arizona just out-physicaled Houston. They played smarter. They played more together, and they executed at a higher level than Houston. I was there watching Houston beat Arizona last year. You flip the script. It was almost the exact same way Arizona beat them tonight. And that should tell everybody that Tommy not only has evolved in terms of what he's looking for in his team, but he's been able to take something that he felt like was a detriment and make it a strength. And that Tommy, dude, the first year Tommy with Benedict Mathurin and that squad would not be able to compete with the Arizona team today because physically and defensively, they're just on another level compared to that team. And when that team went in to see the same Houston team 5 years ago in Tommy's first year, you just knew they were about to get dog walked. I could see it a mile away. I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. This Houston team is way too ferocious. And we play in the little pissy poor Pac-12 where we don't have any strong teams. today was the exact opposite of that. And I don't know, guys. I never really felt nervous throughout the entire game. I just felt like Arizona was going to win this, and I didn't really feel like it was particularly going to be close. And honestly, if foul trouble doesn't happen, I don't think it is close.
It just feels like this team takes the best shot from every team that they go up against and responds constantly. Like Houston goes on that run, a lot of teams fold, right? Especially against a team with, a championship experience like Houston. A lot of those guys won the Big 12 last year. They went to the national championship game and could have easily taken home the entire thing. And so they're not moved by the moment. Kingston Flemings, we know that he's, the moment's not too big for that kid. And all of a sudden, Arizona's just taking it on the chin, staying in the pocket, and, responding right back with a Brayden Burries mid-range or, it's nails every time. And this team feels like they're cut from a very different cloth when it comes to the mental aspect of playing this game of basketball. Like they never let this moment get too big for them. They're made for everything that comes their way.
Absolutely. And that started from the start of the season. Game number 1, Florida. You knew what going, and this is, guys, we're going to sit here. I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about like where Arizona should be seated in terms of number 1 overall or whatever. We know they're going to be a 1 seed, but this is why it's so important to not schedule cupcakes in your non-conference schedule. I don't care if you go 0-5. They went 0-5 last year. Yep. Or they lost 5 in a row against like good teams last year. But you know what? That built them up. They went into the Big 12 and they ended up getting to the Sweet 16. That's a successful year. This year, they knew they had some dogs on the schedule. They scheduled appropriately, and they come out knowing that you got to play the defending national champs in game number 1. Like that mentality by itself, it gets you hyped up and ready to go. And they come out and they set the tone from the jump, and you kind of saw a glimmer of what could be. I don't think any of us really felt like 100% confident in saying that Arizona was a knockdown Final Four team no matter what, until honestly the last 3 or 4 weeks. Like, yeah. I know we like to say it. We like to say it because we want to support our guys, and we don't want anybody to, dog us on like, oh, this guy is not a believer. Like, but like deep down, you're like, okay, they're about to run into this gauntlet in February. Like, how's this going to look? Like, are these guys going to be able to meet the challenge? And not only did they meet the challenge, but despite getting multiple setbacks with illness, injury, and a variety of other things, they still found ways to overcome, and they avenged one of their losses. And the other loss that they had at home against Texas Tech, if they have Koa Peat, I'd probably say that they probably win that game. So like they have done everything you've asked them to do, and they've proved it at a high level all year round. When we talk and we have this, listen, I think sometimes you want to know like you have a guarantee. I think that's probably the only thing that is a little unnerving for this fan base, because you don't have somebody that you feel like, like AJ DeBonsa, you feel like he can get his bucket anytime he wants, right? We don't really have that caliber player. We have close. I think Brayden Burries is close to that, but still, like there's a little tier there, right? And I think that's what maybe makes it makes everybody a little bit nervous when we get to March, because of like this person not being good one night and this person picking them up. Can that be consistent? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it can absolutely be consistent, because they all play a consistent level of ball. So that fluctuation isn't a drastic fluctuation. It's just a pivot. It's like, okay, he's not on, we're going this way. And that's led by Jaden Bradley. And that's the thing that nobody really understands about why he's a conference player of the year. But it is why the coaches picked him to be conference player of the year, because he understands who's up, who's down, when do they need it, when do they not need it, and he approaches it that way. And that's the beautiful part about this. And you got to trust that process as we move forward, because they're going to play some dogs, obviously. But I have the utmost confidence that they'll be able to execute it this year.
You have to believe that those fans that feel like, oh, well, we don't have a one bucket getter kind of guy, like respectfully, like they just don't know ball, in my opinion, because it gives me more confidence that Arizona is the only team in the country that has 7 guys, with 100 or more made field goals. You know what that tells me? If someone turns Brayden Burries' faucet off, we still got water flow, baby. We are good to go. No one is going thirsty. We are drinking water. You know what I mean? Make sure to drink your water right now. But it gives me more confidence that this team is so deep. We talked about it last week. Like, this is the superpower for this year's team is that you are deep and you're 8 starters deep.
Every single night, it's 2 or 3 different guys that are the, headliners as to why you won the game, it feels like. I mean, sometimes it probably pushes to 4, but it's typically in that 2 to 3 range where you're like, who even is our king of the court tonight? It could be this guy. It could be this guy. It could be this guy. And that's kind of what I'm saying about this, like, Tommy Lloyd, just Frankenstein monster that has been built, where it's like, he might have built the perfect basketball team. Realistically, obviously, it's not
prototypically.
You can have a team, I guess, hypothetically, where it has Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsta and Kingston Flemings. And just
you mean Tommy Lloyd's Team USA roster?
Correct.
That he also puts together because he is that guy.
But realistically speaking, this is like essentially the best possible roster that could be made, and it leads to these type of outings where it only takes 2 or 3 guys. Brayden doesn't have it last night. Who cares? Who cares? You're gonna win. It doesn't matter.
Brayden. Brayden don't give a damn. I saw a very funny clip of Brayden Burries as Anthony DeLorso hit a big 3, going to a teammate and going, "Whew, that boy hooping," as he sits on the bench 0 for 7. Right? We talk about the chemistry of this team, like it is special. They're focused. They're focused on the same thing. Ivan Karchenkov, I think it was either Koa Peat or Ivan, was talking to Big 12 Studios, and they were saying how, like, sometimes on a team, everybody has their own individual goals. I think it was Delhi after his big game. Everybody has their own individual goals, and sometimes that overlaps, and it doesn't really help you on the overall team goals, right? Because you're too focused on what you got going on to help the team. He said that this team is not like that, and you can easily tell that is the truth. There is no fluff to what Delhi was saying. This team loves each other. They love playing next to one another, and they love winning next to one another, and they are locked in. So I did want to ask you one more thing about this game in particular, is before I pitch it back over to my guy Damon Lob. But we challenged Koa Peat in the pregame, right? We said, look, we know you contribute a whole lot more than just X's and O's and box score stuff that people are looking at on the real app and stuff like that. But it comes a time when you do have to put up some stats and you do have to contribute on the box score and do some things like that, specifically with rebounding. Because that is something that I know we can hold him accountable for, because Tommy Lloyd has said as much in the pressers that he expects him one day to be able to rebound like Tobe Awaka, because they have the same level of physicality. They have the same level of athleticism. You could argue Koa Peat is a better athlete than Tobe Awaka, right? So the capability for rebounding is there. We challenged him on the pregame. Koa, let's see you get some rebounds. Tonight, 6 rebounds for our king of the court, Koa Peat. Saw like Koa Peat's performance tonight. What do you got for us on our king of the court, Koa Peat?
I just love how assertive he was on offense. I thought he was far less passive in this game than in previous games. I think a lot of times he gets the ball at the top of the key. He kind of evaluates and maybe he makes one move, but that's about it. But that one move is more of just like to me, it's almost like when you go to Costco and you just want to sample the food. Like, I feel like he's just sampling what he wants to do out there, but he doesn't really want to do anything, right? Tonight,
hitting though.
But tonight he was like, not only did he want a little taster, but he wanted the whole damn slice, and he went all the way to the basket multiple times. He didn't rely on that fadeaway jumper, too many times. He incorporated the left-hander at the rim. He was aggressive. I thought an aggressive Koa Peat, like we have seen in some of his big games, is the best version of Koa Peat you will see, and it's the thing that takes Arizona, folks. Arizona is still, like, I still feel like Arizona has not played like their best basketball. That's the craziest thing to say for a team.
I said that yesterday.
I think so.
They're 32-2, and I still feel like the sum of all of its parts have not been clicking all at the same time in one game. We haven't seen it yet. And I feel like we're going to. At some point, Burries is going to be cooking. Koa's going to be cooking. Jaden's going to be cooking. And then you're torched. You're losing by 50. That's just what it is. So Koa being aggressive is so important. He has to be aggressive. Also, I'll go ahead and give one of my notes. He made a little subtle adjustment at the free throw line. And I don't think people are going to realize that because, not a lot of people are technique nerds like I am. But he had a little bit of a pause at the top of his release. Tonight, it looked like he put his right hand underneath the ball a little bit more, and instead of waiting till he got to the top to release the ball, he did so in one fluid motion, and it just looked way smoother coming out of his hand. And I think that directly correlated to his early makes at the free throw line. And I could tell that he's been working on that, because there was a couple where he hit and he was just like, and he kind of was talking to himself like, yeah, like he got it going again. It's so important because he's going to get fouled and you need him in there at the end of games. He's got to be able to hit free throws. And I think he's starting to build that confidence back in that free throw shot, because he was struggling there for a while.
And you see his ability to also like create for others, right? And I think when we talk about the way that he impacts the game outside of the box score, it is that like hockey assist that he'll make out of a double team, and then Yvonne makes a swing action to JB, who gets it to Brayden Burries, who's open, and now Koa Peat will never get credit for that in any sort of statistical way, but he totally created that offense because they are forced to send a double at Koa Peat. As Corey Williams, Mikhail Madness co-host with our guy Saul, once said, he's like Chris Brown on tour. He's going to make you leave your man. You got to send a double. You know what I mean? So Koa, he has gravity. That I know that term gets thrown around a whole ton in the NBA realm, but it's true. Just watch the games, bro. Watch the games, man. As soon as Koa Peat catches the ball, boom, second defender coming right at him, and he is getting increasingly more and more decisive out of those double teams. And I saw it tonight multiple times, him creating for others. Even though Houston is a very good rotational defense, right? It didn't always necessarily create like a cut to the basket, Krivas dunk, because they're not going to give you nothing that easy. But can you talk to us a little bit more about what you've seen over the course of this whole season from Koa Peat, like accepting and deciding out of doubles?
He's always been a good all around player, and if you go all the way back to the beginning of the season, we talked about like, yeah, Koa Peat can score, but the biggest thing about Koa Peat is that he's a really good, decision maker. He has been. Now I know he's had games where he's turned the ball over probably a little bit more than we'd like. Yesterday being one of them with four turnovers by himself. Like, can't have that. However, when you have the ball in your hands and people trust you to have the ball in your hands, like you're going to be put in those positions. And I think more often than not, he has come through. That's why I wanted to see more Point Pete. Like, I want to see Koa bringing the ball up every now and then to relieve Jaden and Burries and let them listen. It's so much easier as a guard to not have to beat your man consistently up the court and tire yourself out, because it takes a lot of work. And then, you could just go down the court, come off a pick, and just play within the game. And it doesn't have to be every single time, but there's that little bit of relief can mean so much in terms of your mental stamina, to not have to think about every single thing every single time. Like it wears you out. And so I think Koa being able to, spell those two is key. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of that, especially when we get to the tournament. I think that's one of the unique wrinkles I think you'll see when we play, some of the big dogs, in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and in the Final Four, hopefully. So Koa's, intangibles, the way he impacts the game from an overall sense cannot be disregarded. And I know he has struggled. And everybody's pointed it out a million times. I've said he's got to play aggressive. Like, I don't really care if you give me 0 points in a game. But if you were playing aggressive, if you were forcing the issue, I just have a hard time believing that that's going to happen. And I think tonight proved that.
Yeah, Koa Peat was spectacular tonight, and it felt like, he needed it, because it felt like a lot of people in this fan base were, almost, chomping at the bit for a big Koa Peat game in a big moment. So happy for him in that moment. I want to go to a little bit more of a maybe roller coaster ride portion of the game with our guy Saul Bookman, who is the number one Jaden Bradley guy on planet Earth, where Jaden Bradley injures his wrist, hand, leaves the game, goes to the locker room,
straight back to the locker room,
but immediately returns and finishes out the game. So Saul, I guess I want to know what's going on in the Bookman household when that's going down. What's that roller coaster of emotions like? And then what's your overall take on what went on with JB?
I mean, every little thing from the point he left the court to the time he came back to the game, I'm not even watching the game. It was funny because sometimes I went on to Twitter and I saw Jason Shear say the exact same thing that I saw when he came back, or Coach Chappell came from the back. and he went to Tommy, and Tommy immediately put his head down and walked away. And I was just like, oh, that's and the play went away from Tommy to the other end of the court. And I was
Somebody
like, no.
instantly tagged me on Twitter, Saul, and was like, at Kevo Post, assistant coach just went up to Tommy and he did not like the answer. What is wrong with Jaden Bradley? And I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and I wasn't feeling so hot about that. But if we recall, Jaden played with I'm going to assume like a similar injury at the beginning of the season, had his hand wrapped for I mean, a couple months. The entire non-conference, I believe his hand was wrapped. So it's not something unusual. I think maybe, you know, getting adjusted back to that might be a little bit of a change. And obviously, you know, he didn't score in the second half, and, you know, maybe a little bit, you know, uncertainty in the middle of the game. But I'm not worried about Jaden. He, you know, like Corey said in our group chat.
Oh boy,
you know, he's from the 90s. He's built like he's from the 90s. Like he could break his hand and he's going to be fine. He's still going to play. Like I just have a hard time believing that if Jaden Bradley had something significant happening with his hand, like a broken bone or something like. Now, I will say this: if it was a broken bone down here, major problem. Probably couldn't play because you have no control over that. If you break any one of these fingers, F it, keep going,
tape him up.
Cut
that's
it off.
what it's going to be. Yeah. I mean, we've seen Bernard King used to play with these two middle fingers. Bernard King used to play with these two middle fingers taped together and would drop 50 and 60 for the Knicks. Like Jaden Bradley's built a different kind of way. He's not the kind of guy that's just going to, you know, fake an injury just for the heck of it. So he's going to be fine. I think I have confidence that he'll be fine. Am I going to text?
Real Pigeon reacting in the chat.
Yes.
What were you saying, Saul?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I was saying Real Pigeon in the chat was quoting Damon, who said, "Cut it off." And
Ronnie
I was
Lott
like,
style.
Did you just try to amputate Jaden Bradley's fingers on live stream right now?
I'm saying Jaden Bradley, if it came down to it and he felt like that gave the team a better chance to win, he would absolutely do so.
It's like Rocky. He's like, "Cut me, man. I can't see. Cut me." Either way, Saul. Let's go to the notebook. Let's head to the notebook early. This has been a roller coaster of a game, an absolute electric results for the Arizona Wildcats. They ain't nothing to show, Ayrton. You can relax behind the scenes.
We do need a graphic for the notebook, though.
We do need a notebook graphic. But Saul, let's go to the notebook. What do you got for us? What are your takeaways from this epic game?
All right, so a couple things. So first, I talked about Koa Peat and his free throws. I thought that was very important. I liked seeing that shift a little bit on his behalf. So that's good. As we move forward, Arizona it will be probably going to San Diego, San Jose, and Indianapolis. Okay, if they make it to the Final Four in Indianapolis. Obviously, we know what happened last time they went to Indianapolis for the Final Four. We don't have to talk about that. That was a national championship. The last time they went to San Jose, however, not good. Not great, Bob. That was with the Lowry Markkanen team, up 8 with a little bit over 2 minutes left to go, and they just melted down the stretch. Yeah, they choked. Xavier ends up winning for no reason, and it actually ends up being, ironically enough, who that comes out of that regional to go to the Final Four? Gonzaga. Who was an assistant coach on that team? Tommy Lloyd. So Tommy's got some good vibes and feels about San Jose because that was the first time he went to the Final Four. So maybe that will cancel out the bad juju from San Jose when they go, if they should go back. San Diego. I don't mean to bring up old stuff, Kevin, but your kinfolk, Eddie Lampkin, that's when he got baptized.
Can we just stop this bit? This bit sucks. I hate this bit.
On his head.
No, I hate this bit.
I saw on his head.
I love Benedict Mathurin. You think Eddie Lampkin likes Benedict Mathurin? No, it seems like this is a fraudulent comparison from step one.
I feel like you kind of look like his little bro. That's all.
What was your point, Saul?
that they have good juju in San Diego, and they're going to go back there.
Great juju that you've brought to the pod here.
I love it personally. I think it's pretty good.
I'll just see myself out. I'm just going to scroll Twitter for a second. What do you got, Saul? Let's go back to the notebook.
It's so good. All right. And then outside of that, listen, obviously Indianapolis, that would be huge for this team. The Big 12 in their second season winning it is fantastic. And to dominate the way they did this year, I don't think any of us could have seen this coming. My notebook is very slim because there's not many notes when you win the conference championship two different kinds of ways. So the only other thing I will say is they do deserve to be the number one overall seed. Does it really matter? Probably not. But they do deserve to be the number one overall seed. Their non-conference, their conference was too difficult and too tough for you to just sit there and ignore. And I don't know what the hell kind of crack Lenardi is smoking by still keeping Arizona as the number 3 overall number 1 seed, which is absolutely insane to me because Michigan has been in some bar burners too against some lesser opponents.
They were in a bar burner today for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and Duke has played against the Sisters of the Poor for half the damn year. I don't even understand how the ACC is getting 8 teams into the tournament. I can't even believe that. Like, that's what they predicted. They're supposed to have as many teams as the Big 12 in the NCAA tournament. And I'm sorry, folks. Dude, Big 12 teams would absolutely mollywop ACC teams.
Cincinnati would maybe get second in the conference. Like that's that's the level we're talking about here.
ASU would have an all-time program best season in the ACC, and Totri would be in this building right now doing backflips.
Genuinely, ASU basketball would be doing what ASU basketball did in the Pac-12, which is finish like 4th, 5th, 6th place every year under Bobby Hurley, because that's what the ACC is. It's the Pac-12 East.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. I still can't believe that. It blows me away. Arizona deserves to be the number 1 overall seed. Now, regardless of that, my hope is that they get rewarded for their tough non-conference schedule in their bracket. Now, at some point, you're going to have to play good teams no matter what, right? And there will be upsets, so you just can't predict any of this stuff. But Arizona definitely deserves the number 1 overall seed. And my last little note, this team was picked 4th in the preseason rankings for the Big 12. It blows me away.
One first place vote, same amount as BYU.
Same amount as BYU. The fact that, and I'm going to give you some deli love, okay? The top 5 teams in the Big 12 preseason: Iowa State, Arizona, BYU, Texas Tech, and Houston. Deli had 3 of his biggest games against 3 of those 5 teams: BYU, Houston, and then Iowa State. And I think we talked about it yesterday and how clutch he was, but I really he doesn't get enough love for what he did and essentially saving us yesterday for sure. And in other games when they were struggling. That's why I thought tonight was going to be not a cakewalk, but I thought it was going to be relatively easy because all the pieces were there. Houston was at full strength. Arizona was at full strength. And I thought Arizona was going to be the better team. So overall, those are my notes. Pretty simple. Cut and dry. I will not be in Tucson tomorrow, just so we all know. I changed my plans because I'm going to be on the road for hopefully 3 out of the next 3 weeks. So I got to get out to San Diego on Wednesday, and we'll go from there.
I got a bit of breaking news. Sorry, I was too excited to say it for Saul before we get him on out of here. Jaden Bradley has not only taken home the Big 12 Conference Player of the Year award, but he is also the Big 12 tournament's most outstanding player. BYU fans, you're in shambles.
You don't get that for dropping 40 in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, it should have been AJ. What?
Dude, that's wild.
But he dropped 40 on Kansas State in a round that 0 serious basketball teams played in.
Dude, he has a cool he has a cool video of him dancing to a Gunna song. He has to win the award.
I went to AP.
Hey, 200K. Hey. Saul, before we do get you out of here, though, I do have a couple more questions about this game that took place today, where Arizona became Big 12 tournament champions. What do you got?
Real quick, so Lenardi did update his bracket yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this. Prepare to be triggered. He does have the San Diego regional being pretty fair. It's Arizona versus Howard, Utah State versus Iowa. Okay. So that's a relatively simple path, I think. I think Arizona fans will sign up for that.
Shout out Howard, man.
Who does he have for us to potentially play in the Sweet 16?
Let us know.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin, honestly, hey, they can get
pretty
anybody.
tough this year.
They can get anybody. They can shoot the lights out. They got some good players on that team. So that would be a tough matchup. But I mean, Arizona should easily win that game. But I just, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Expect Wisconsin. Expect Wisconsin because the tournament selection committee is sitting there salivating at the thought of putting Wisconsin in Arizona's region so that, you get a high-profile Wisconsin-Arizona game yet again.
Yeah, I know. It would be a tragedy. Anyway, sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Ivan Karchenkov continues to be our sweet, please don't draft him, player of the year. I saw his defense in these big moments, right? I know we talk ad nauseum about him, but over the last 2 games, he has continued to perform in exactly the same way that we have told everyone listening to this podcast that he will perform all season. Can we talk about this professional pedigree that he brings to the table? He's asked by Big 12 Studios yesterday after one of the most cinematic, absolute Karchenkov moments you could even draw up by Jaden Bradley. He's like, yeah, I mean, we're going to enjoy this moment for like an hour more, and then we're on to the next one, and we just want to finish the job. That shot means nothing if we can't finish it tomorrow. What does he bring to this team mentally that is so important in these big moments and will continue, in my opinion, to shine throughout March Madness?
He brings I don't give a F mentality. Who you are, what you think you are. He does not care who you are. He is an absolute assassin out there. He is. All he wants to do is beat you. He wants to make your life a living hell. And that's what he did today, even against when he had to play the 4 it felt like a majority of the second half. Did you notice anything? No.
Rebounds from him.
7 of them.
Just a beast. Like he is absolutely a multi-purpose tool. He just is. He will slice and dice you every
German
single way.
knife.
Yeah, he is. He's fantastic. Like defensively, his instincts are incredible. Like they are just like you feel like if you throw the ball too close to Karchenkov, he's going to steal it. If you get sloppy with your handle just a little bit, he's either going to knock it away from you or he's going to steal it. Like his defensive prowess, it's a crime that he wasn't Big 12 on the Big 12 all defensive team. It's a crime. He is the best defender in the league, and it's not close. He is the best defender in the league. He has been all year. So he's going to get some love. And you saw Billis and those guys. They love them some Karchenkov because they love the way he gets down and dirty and gritty and plays defense and does all the little things. He'll get you a bucket when you need it. He'll hit a 3 when you need it. Like he has no fear about him. And it's gonna calm everybody down because he just goes into these games like, man, I don't give a damn who these guys are. When they play Duke in the Final Four, Ivan don't give a damn about Boozer. He'd go over there trying to take his heart out no matter what.
Who?
Yeah.
They don't make boozers in Germany. Who?
Well, they do have a lot of booze.
Hey-o.
Well, I mean, to piggyback off your point, Saul, and maybe this goes a little bit against our kind of Jaden Bradley agenda, so put that to the side for a second, but I don't think that one of the 16 Big 12 coaches, if you put a gun to their head and for some odd reason, because it's not that serious, and you said Emmanuel Sharp defensively, who did make the all Big 12 defensive team, versus Ivan Karchenkov defensively, who would you rather have on your team playing defense? And I'm sitting there, and when that list came through, I was looking at it and I was like, in what world is Emmanuel Sharp a better defender than Ivan Karchenkov? He's a great defender, don't get me wrong. He plays Kelvin Sampson basketball to a T. He's, Kelvin Sampson's son, essentially. But Kelvin Sampson would tell you that Ivan Karchenkov is better at defense than Emmanuel Sharp is. I can't think of one defensive play Emmanuel Sharp made in the 2 games against Arizona this year. And Ivan Karchenkov, meanwhile, is firing the entire crowd up both games against Houston with defensive output. So, truly special defense from Karchenkov.
Who was matched up against Emmanuel Sharp for a majority of the time today?
Karchenkov, no?
Yeah. What about Milan in game 1 against Iowa State? Yeah. Interesting. What about when Darren Peterson really made it look like it was like hell for Darren Peterson
and
out
AJ
there against Arizona? Who was Oh, I think they're throwing the German army knife at him.
Every time.
It's crazy.
You think that what I was going to ask is, do you think that Kelvin Sampson watches Ivan Karchenkov and scratches his head and goes, holy hell, we need to start recruiting guys in Europe? I need to find my way over to Europe because I've never seen a player I wanted more on my team than that guy in particular.
I'm sure he has a squad going out to the Baltics right now as we speak.
Like as we speak. Like they are in Germany, they're boots on ground in Russia, in Slovenia. Like Kelvin Sampson is changing the recruiting approach now.
You have to. When you see a guy like Ivan Karchenkov come out of nowhere and you're like, wait, who the hell is this kid? And then you see the way he D's up and the way he's grimy out there on the court. And that was his staple for his team last year at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Bayern Munich. Yeah. In the BBL. In the
Money.
BBL league.
Yeah. He started for his team out there. But the reason why he was playing a lot was because of his defense. It wasn't because of his offense. His offense was just a nice little add-on. That dude's a defensive, he's just a defensive assassin, dude. I just love that kid.
One more player I wanted to talk to you about, Saul, before we get you out of here. And we will eventually get you out of here. Matthias Krivas. We talk about Ivan Karchenkov's defense, but when you ask Ivan Karchenkov why he's so effective within this defensive system, he says, oh yeah, you know that guy, that 7'2" dude who sits behind me, 5 feet behind me, and if I want to get aggressive, he makes up for every mistake I've ever made because nobody wants to put up a floater over that guy because guess what? You can't. He'll send it to Timbuktu. Can you talk about the importance of Mo Krivas and moreover the growth that we've seen from him from game 1 to game, what is it, 33 today? Because I remember at the beginning of the year when we did our My Guys draft, which Saul swept me and Damon away like a flood, Matthias Krivas, I was quoted off air as saying, man, Saul can have him. I'm not drafting him. And if we did 8 rounds, you know what I mean?
You said you'd draft Sven over him.
Yeah. And this is a My Guys setting, not a talent setting. I felt indifferent towards Mo Krivas at the time. And we all challenged him at the beginning of the year to be more aggressive, to be more dominant, to be more of a presence on both ends. And he's done that in spades times 10. Can you talk about the growth of one Matthias Krivas this season?
The growth is the comfort in his body again. Like he just seems like he's more confident with his foot, number one. And number two, with his movements out there on the court and having a better feel for what's around him. He has definitely grown. And again, Arizona being assertive, no matter who the player is the best version of Arizona. If it's Jaden Bradley catching the ball and going downhill, it's assertive. I'm okay with that. When Mo Krivas catches the ball down low on the block and immediately hits your guy with a spin move, that's assertive. When he pounds the rock down, on the paint and hits you with that little floater, he's assertive. I'm cool with that. If he immediately kicks that ball out, and I think at the beginning of the season, that ball stuck a little too long. You got to get the ball out of your hands. He's gotten better and better about that. And now he's been able to affect the court, the play on the defensive side at such a high level. We were not talking about Mo Krivas possibly leaving after the season, not halfway through the year. Now you're seeing him in the top 20 of these big boards. Mo Krivas might F around and find himself a lottery pick if this tournament run goes well.
He could be the first big off the board.
I mean, it's bad for us, but if it means a national championship, then I don't care. Fine. Like, hey, you win a national championship, you can do whatever you want. The whole roster could go for all I care.
That's usually what happens.
I mean, that's pretty much what happens. So, no, Krivas' development has been fantastic. He's going to get matched up against some bigs coming, as we move forward. You don't see bigs like him very often that can affect the game on the defensive end quite the way he does, because he doesn't just do it with his athleticism. He does it with his intelligence, his body positioning, and his toughness. And he deserves to get a lot of love for his toughness because he's been absolutely just hung on, swatted at, punched, grabbed, pulled, like everything you could possibly think of. And he doesn't really complain. He just takes it, he moves along, and he keeps doing his job at a high level.
Somebody in the chat wants to know where Heyman Fairall got his hockey jersey at.
I mean, it's close enough. I will try to figure that out for you. I think it's on the Arizona hockey specific website, but I will figure that out for us here. One thing that I loved specifically about Mo is he's diving on the floor in these games. Yeah. And I forgot who it was earlier, and they said it yesterday, but they're like, I just get fired the hell up every single time I see our 7-2 Lithuanian giant, as Kevin likes to say, just laying it all out on the line. And imagine like Zach Edey diving on the floor for a basketball. The thought of it is shocking.
I mean, he would have to do it in 3 separate parts.
He might break his legs.
It would look like a stop motion film.
Mo Krivas is doing that every game and every opportunity he has to do so. And his athleticism at that size it's so impressive. And you can see why NBA teams are like, I'll take a flyer on that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, Arizona has 5 guys that could get drafted off their starting lineup. There's not many other teams in the country that can say that.
100%. Now, Saul, we will be getting you out of here at this point in the pod. But before you do, I want everybody to like this video for Saul's ball knowledge and the notebook that he allows us to read from every post game. We got a ton of people. The viewership is incredible. Thank you, Wildcat fans, for tuning in for this post game. Please like this post game. I want to see 150 likes before you get out of here, Damon. We got the people to do it. Let's get 150 likes. Heyman, Fairall, like this video. You heard it from Heyman here himself.
Heyman also figured out exactly where he got the jersey. It's at ArizonaWildcatHockey.org. That's not a plural. ArizonaWildcatHockey.org if you want a piece of that. But if you want a piece of these T-shirts that we got debuting on our store.allcitynetwork.com, please check these out. What we got here in the All City Network locker.
Ayrton Tim.
3 shirts that are brand new, including that Arizona Wildcats diehard shirt that we've had up there for a while now, just to kind of round things out. But you got the pod logo left to right. You got the pod logo playing basketball with the headband on, Aristode style. Fire. I bought mine in the middle of last night's postgame show. You got We Run Things with the state outline right there down below. And can I just say, no one ran things more than the Arizona Wildcats did in this Big 12 basketball season. And then you got Embrace Chaos March Madness 26 shirt on the right. Break yourself a piece off of one of these shirts. I don't know if that was proper English.
That was a Kit Kat bar saying.
Yeah, do so. Get involved. $35. Unbelievable stuff. Saul, what do you got for us?
You just reminded me of that Office where Andy is just like, yeah, he's like, break me off a piece of that. He couldn't remember what it was. Like, oh, yeah. Nobody tell him.
Saul, I'm glad that your voice lasted with us throughout the rest of the pod, because last night we had a little bit of a Doc Rivers situation going on, and I'm glad we didn't have to go to the Doc Rivers back tonight. He came on Marchenkov. He was a real MFer on the perimeter tonight.
I was like, hey, we gotta get Blake the ball.
I told Tommy I knew we were going to win this game. As soon as the game tipped off, I knew we were going for a W.
You sound like Dick Vitale.
It's groovy, baby. The Arizona Wildcats are on top, baby.
I have a question for you guys, actually.
What up?
Let's go with the top 4 in the conference. Let's go Texas Tech, Kansas, Iowa State, and us, and Houston. We'll go for top 5. I want you guys to give me I want you to give me your instant reaction on how far you think each one of these teams will go. Okay, starting with Iowa State.
Not far.
I think Iowa State goes Elite 8.
Wait. Can we define like?
I mean, we don't know what the brackets are as of right now, so a lot could change obviously with the matchups and whatnot. But I think Iowa State Elite 8 type of team personally.
Give me Iowa State Sweet 16.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I just don't believe that Milan can do what he does against Arizona every night. And if he's not doing that, like, they're not playing at Hilton Coliseum in the round of 32. Like, you're going to need some performances from everybody to get it done. So Iowa State Sweet 16 team, in my opinion.
Okay. Houston.
Final 4.
Ooh. Let me see the bracket, because if we have to go through Houston,
I know it sounds like I'm being very high on both these teams, but these were the 2 teams that I was planning on being the highest on when you asked these questions, to be fair.
I don't know. There's something about Houston that makes me feel like they're not going to get there again.
Elite 8.
I think Sweet 16 this year. I could even see them getting eliminated in the first weekend.
Wow.
Like I do feel like they have some significant flaws that pop up from time to time. Like, if Emmanuel Sharp and Flemings are not cooking, and
True.
they go up against a big and potentially a 3-point shooting team that's legit, they might have some problems. Like if they found themselves playing Wisconsin in the Sweet 16, I could easily see Wisconsin beating Houston. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
I feel like there's not many more teams that, real quick on the Houston thing, and we can move on to the next one after this, but like I just feel like there's not many teams that are like tougher than Houston, that are more ready for like a dogfight. And I feel like not many teams outside of Arizona and Iowa State on like a miracle night in Hilton that have shut down both Flemings or Sharp. And then in combination, what about Uzan? There's not many teams that can defend Houston the way that they need to defend Houston. But I see what you're saying. I just don't know how many teams fit the criteria to beat them.
And Kevin puts in the chat here, Houston could play in the South region where Sweet 16 Elite 8 is in Houston, which is extremely helpful.
If you know anything about Houston and the city of Houston, you know that like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to be at home.
They
the fan
show
base,
up,
yeah.
They don't show up. They're not like a rabid fan base. Kansas.
Sweet 16, maybe round of 32.
Ugh. You can only have 8 teams in the Elite 8. So I guess I'll go Sweet 16, but they have the potential to go like nuclear. You know what I mean? If like Darren Peterson puts some stuff together. I just don't know if they can put stuff together for the amount of games consecutively on both ends that they would need to. Yeah, give me Sweet 16.
Tech.
I mean,
what's Christian Anderson's
That's
status?
the toughest one where it's like, I mean, that team could beat anybody, no? Even with Christian Anderson as just the guy, like if McCaslin gets them up for a game, I could see them taking down like a really, really good team in the second round potentially and go into the Sweet 16. But I also just don't think, I look at their roster and I say, I don't think you have the talent. So I'm going to go round of 32 for Tech.
My last little note before I get out of here is I mentioned those teams because those teams have phenomenal coaches, and every single one of those coaches, including Tommy Lloyd, coaches at such a high level. And more importantly, I do want to give them some love because Kelvin Sampson, Bill Self, TJ, like every single one of those guys, they're so classy and they're so good with the media and giving insight into what's going on with their program, not without giving it too much, but like they have such great insight into not only their team, but also the teams that they play against. And oftentimes this season lose, and it's not easy to come into some of those post-game pressers and give honest, thorough thought after a loss. But these coaches, that's what makes them so elite. When you talk about Grant McCaslin, like he's one of my favorite coaches in the country. He's fiery on the sideline, but if you've ever watched him coach, God damn, that dude knows ball. Like he just knows it. Every little nuance of technique and fundamentals and positioning, and like this is the reason why like the Big 12 to me is the best conference in the country. It's not just because of the players that we have, it's because the coaching is damn elite. So that's why I say you should trust Tommy, because he was able to win the conference championship in the regular season and in the tournament against the best coaches in the country. Like these are the top 5 coaches in the country. Maybe you throw in Shire and Hurley and a couple others, but there's not a lot. And I would say pound for pound, the Big 12 has some of the best coaches in the country for sure. So
Kevin Young?
Not yet.
I was talking to Steven about this the other day. Like, I still love Kevin Young as a basketball coach, but like objective disaster year for him.
I can't help myself.
I wouldn't say disaster year because they did have a lot of injuries. They had
but that's my point though, Saul. For him, like this is a nightmare season. You have the top 3 pick and you have a ton of injuries and your best perimeter defender, Richie Saunders, goes. That's what I meant. I wasn't saying like he did this to the team. I'm saying like if you drew this up, this is like waking up in the cold sweats if you're Kevin Young, like, oh, I need a soda pop. I'm scared. This is going crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I think like even before Richie Saunders went down, they had 3 or 4 injuries before that too. Mm-hmm. Like they got the short end of the stick. However, I still think he needs a little bit. He's kind of like Tommy at first, where it's like you have the idea of what you want to do, And then you start to realize like how you have to manipulate your roster in order to shore up some of the shortcomings, especially when you're in a conference like the Big 12. And I think he has the horses and the demeanor to be able to do that. Like he's already gotten Bruce Branch. That's a good start to next year. But like they're going to lose Kiba. Like Kiba's such a huge part of their defense. Like, what are you going to do without him? You got to find somebody that's going to be able to shore that up. And then you got to figure out the other pieces. And I think that's what Tommy Lloyd did such a great job. Like Dalen Terry was a beast on defense. Benedict Mathurin was good. Koloko was great at the rim. But Koloko doesn't impact the game the way Krivas does. He just doesn't. Not in the same way. And Krivas is probably a little bit more of a polished post player than Koloko, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
And then you look at all the surrounding pieces, like 1 through 5, they all D up.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't say that about that other team. Why am I blanking on his name? The point guard that left.
Right?
And went, no, he plays for Cincinnati now.
Kirk Kriisa.
Kirk Kriisa. Yeah, I was going to say.
Man, you know what? For a guy that got a tribute video, awfully forgettable for our guy Saul Bookman. You know
well, listen, Kriisa was had a tendency to be a turnstile as well. So like let's be real, like ankle or not.
Real quick, Saul, do you think genuinely, this just crossed my head, do you think Kirk Kriisa looks at what Anthony DeLurso was able to do with his time at Arizona and thinks, damn, I should have stuck it out? Or do you think that he's just not mentally like wired that way and then he was just like, hey, I made the right choice going to Kentucky chasing a bag and some fame?
I don't know what he was offered, so it's hard to speak to that. I would say that if you're constantly jumping ship the way he did, it's because you're constantly looking for the me scenario. And this team is just not built for me. It's built 100%. For us. It's built for we. So if you're that type of dude that, yeah, the bag is important. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not going to besmirch anybody for getting the bag, but if you're transferring because you're not only looking for the bag, but you want to be the guy at a certain school, that's probably the wrong reasons to transfer. You should find a program that's going to make you better, not be all about you. And I think that these guys on this team are all about getting better and getting pushed. The guys on Houston are all about getting, pushed and be better players. You go to other places like, West Virginia, Cincinnati, Kentucky, it just tells me you're not really about that life.
Oh, respect Ross Hodge now at West Virginia, but I know what you mean. Saul, you have been elite all season, and dare I say, you are our analytical Big 12 champion, Saul. You can follow him at Saul_Bookman doing all types of stuff. And make sure, if you have not read his article about Jaden Bradley, the floor general, make sure to go do that. It is live on our website at gophnx.com. Saul,
I got one more thing right before we get Saul out of here because I think Saul would want to be here for this. And this is how I round out a show in only the way that Heyman could.
Where's Hamon Dog? Where's Hamon Hog going?
I just have to get this off my chest. Saul, you mentioned it at one point, like the debate between whether or not the Big 12 regular season was more important than winning the Big 12 tournament.
Oh boy.
A debate that was started by our friendly neighbors up in Tempe. They made it popular on online. They created the discourse essentially to downplay Tommy Lloyd and Arizona basketball's success this season to say, you're not Big 12 champs yet. You got to win the Big 12 tournament to become Big 12 champs. Just for the Wildcats to win both. I mean, if that isn't storybook, then what is? I mean, special stuff.
It's just why am I even going to waste any of my effort or energy on two guys that don't know anything about ball? Like, I'm just not going to listen to that. Well,
it wasn't specifically them. It was all ASU fans, honestly. But
a whole group of people.
Totri and Eric can take some shots, specifically Totri, who was a big part of that debate.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I figured that because Totri is like the ultimate troll and I love him. But oh my gosh, sometimes when you guys were, when he literally had the audacity to ask what's the better program or who has the biggest ceiling, Arizona basketball or ASU football. I'm like, brother, what are you talking about?
What's he smoking?
Dude, seriously. Like
that pure edibles, baby.
Like, I don't know if we need to start to implement some drug testing at ALLCITY.
No, we do not.
Oh, man,
No.
like, I don't know. That's some questionable. That's just how the kids say sus. There we go. That is very sus.
So
Are you saying his ball knowledge is sus and that you would ball knowledge mog him?
Listen, any ASU fans' basketball knowledge is sus.
Getting mogged.
Like, don't even sit there and try to compare anything, because the only thing they'll bring up is Harden. That's it. Oh, well, we got the best player out of both schools. I'm like, cool. How many championships? Okay, then don't talk to me anymore. Like, you're not worthy of my time. Like,
Koa Peat got more gold medals than James Harden's ass.
Straight up. So yeah, no, I'm not worried about those guys and that fan base. Talk about,
as Sean says, Mr. Ruby had to spend the entire podcast for an hour defending Arizona basketball and being like, Totri, what are you talking about, brother? We're not on their level. Which is, it's got to be shockingly obvious for Eric Ruby to be like, I can't even BS my way through this episode. I have to be honest about what's going on right now. Crazy
a perennial top 10 team under Tommy Lloyd. Like, ASU has never 15. Been a perennial top 10 team in football. Like, what are we? That's the end of the debate right there.
I went through it when that debate was happening, and obviously in Damon fashion, but like, Tommy Lloyd's worst finish is 15. He's finished, I believe, like 2, 7, like 10 and 15. And then this year we'll finish like 2 or 3 probably, right? Or maybe 1 if we win it all. Or, it'll be somewhere in that range. Kenny Dillingham's ASU squad has finished unranked, 7th, and unranked. That's what their 3 finishes are. I mean, we were talking about different sports, obviously, but also just, it's not a competition. It's not a competition.
It never was.
I had to let that off. I had to get Saul's thoughts in it as well. But Saul, thank you so much for rocking with us all season long. Of course, we'll get your expertise and coverage out there at the NCAA tournament as well. We look forward to your call-ins during the NCAA tournament.
You guys are doing a watch along tomorrow? Yes.
Yes, we are.
Can I partake, or is that?
You may. Yeah.
Why the hell not, Saul?
Because I love talking about other teams and the brackets and stuff like that. So if you guys don't mind, I'll join you guys on that for sure.
No worries. Yeah, we got Saul Bookman booked for our watch along tomorrow. AZ Wildcats podcast on Selection Sunday. Right when those brackets start dropping, right when the regions start dropping, that's when we're going to be going live, the 3 of us here. So appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Thank you so much, Saul.
And if we do have a Mountain West team that we have to face, our guy Corey has seen a lot of Mountain West ball, so maybe he would be down for it too. Who knows? Also, everybody root against Hawaii winning tonight, because Corey says that if Hawaii loses, then there's a chance that Hawaii has already said that they would host the NIT, and Corey's like, then I think ESPN would send me to Hawaii. So let's go UC Irvine against the Rainbows, or the Warriors, or whatever they're called now.
You can follow him at Saul_Bookman. Make sure to check out McHale Madness as well with our guy Corey Williams. Check out our watch along for Selection Sunday tomorrow. Damon and I are going to hit some super chats and keep talking about this Arizona Wildcats Big 12 championship season. Yeah, that's right. Both of them. Saul, it's been incredible having you on all season, and especially tonight where we get to ring in our champs. Peace out, bear down, and go Cats from you, yeah?
Peace out, bear down. Love you guys. Let's go. Go Cats.
Hell yeah. He is Saul Bookman.
He is Raul Wookman.
He is Wall Wookman, the W man himself. He does not stop winning. But look, we have some super chats to get to. We have some very generous people here watching this show. Thank you to user BP6GC4IE7J, who says $5 super chat.
Nothing much / never mind. I don't know. If that was not what you were intending to do, user, please drop in what you actually wanted to say. We'd love to read what your thoughts on the game are in this one. But if not, we appreciate your support nonetheless. Carl Schroeder, $4.99. Kevin, what do we got?
Wow, we got some very nice super chats coming up. Absolute Big 12 champs. Hopefully absolutely healthy after this run. Got scary there. Thank you, Damon, Saul, and Kevin, and chat as well. What a season it's been. And I will add parenthetically for one, Carl Schroeder. He worked very hard, and he says he used every character you have on YouTube chat to make that message. He maximized. Special. Absolute maximization from Carl Schroeder. AZ Cat Dan with the nicest super chat of the night. $5 straight to our hearts. Cheers to the best podcast on the internet. So proud to be an Arizona Wildcat fan. Bear down. Damon and Kevo, you guys are the pride of Arizona. No, the pride of Arizona, the first ever Super Bowl halftime show, that's the pride of Arizona. Me and Damon just get to talk about our school that we went to for some years, and maybe we follow sports, and maybe we're mentally ill over how much we love sports. But either way, thank you for all the kind words in the super chats, and we appreciate each and every one of you that is tapped in on this show, any show at all of this season. Make sure to leave a like. I have not seen 150 likes, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. We do have the Cap_caveman in here saying, I love you, boys. I mean, you're the mayor in the
Thank
chat.
you, Derek. We appreciate you. We
Mayor
appreciate you, my brother. And right now, Duke in a dogfight with Virginia, Kevin. 58-58 with 8 minutes left. And that is, of course, the written in stone, seal it up. It's already done. Number 1 overall seed Duke Blue Devils. If you listen to what Jay Billis and co has to say on ESPN. But Arizona. I mean, listen. Duke loses that game. Arizona has a shot to be genuinely the number 1 overall seed, you would think, and you would hope would be given that honor. Yeah,
you would hope so. I think Arizona, look, full candidness, one hole in my game as a basketball fan is seeding stuff. I don't really understand how the math works. I don't know who to trust. Lenardi does or does not know ball. I don't know what's going on. So talk to me after we have the full bracket, and we can talk about where Arizona's seeding looks, because I don't really.
What is there anything in general?
They deserve the number 1 overall seed, but I don't know if I give a damn. I feel
it doesn't matter
all
that much. At the end of the day, you're going to be in the West region essentially no matter what. That's the beauty of being in the West, is that there's not a ton of high level elite, perceived, I guess, at least basketball teams out here. So, typically when Arizona's really good, they get their region every single time, which is very, impactful and helpful for what we got going on over here. But is there anything in particular, we're going to get out of here in a second. We're going to obviously dive deeper into this tomorrow on the watch along with Saul for Selection Sunday. But is there anybody in particular, any teams, any conferences that you're looking at and you're saying, yep, I want all of that, feed me that in my region?
In order, Big Ten, ACC schools, and then the SEC, and then, of the power conferences, obviously, and then the Big 12. I don't want to face any Big 12 team at all anymore this season. I want to be done with the Big 12 conference until next season, and then we can pack it up, shake hands, and see you guys next year. I think the Big 10, outside of Illinois and Michigan, are just
Wisconsin.
True. No, true. I actually alluded. Yeah, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan. I think those are the 3 teams in the Big 10 that I'm genuinely worried about. Nebraska ball is kind of up there for the fun of it, and also they can shoot the ball pretty well. But I would love
Nebraska in our region.
I'm just not sold by a lot of these Big 10 teams in terms of national title contenders. I like what Illinois' roster versatility has to offer. I like what their guards can do in theory. I think Michigan.
3MK really has been warning us about Utah State, saying we don't want that smoke.
Look. There was a kid on the broadcast. There was a kid on the broadcast live that was sitting behind Jay Billis and Dan Schulman that was had the Snapchat up and was saying Utah State 16 seed. It was a K-State fan. That's how you know things are good in Manhattan, Kansas. They're talking about Utah State basketball as their season is over.
I'd puke everywhere if we lost to Utah State in the second round with this team. I genuinely, Kevin, I think I've told you this before. I think that would be enough for me to say I'm not doing the podcast tonight. You better figure it out because I'm not doing my job.
I would come on the show chat, we lost Damon Dog, just like we lost the game. Hit the intro. Bang. That's how a cold open is done.
Hit the outro right afterwards.
That's how a cold open is done. But I don't know. I think that there are Big 12 teams or Big 10 teams that I'm comfortable seeing. The ACC has a bunch of post turtles. And if you don't know what that means, shout out to Corey Williams. It means a turtle cannot get on the post. That means someone put them there. A team cannot just get into the rankings. Someone has to put them there. And there's a lot of teams in the ACC that just are in these rankings because they're from the ACC. And they're post turtles. They do not deserve to be there. And I don't know. I think this Arizona team genuinely has me so confident that I'm not concerned about matchups just yet. I'm just not there. I think that they have shown that they can beat every variety of basketball team. And if you put them up against, this team or that team, and I don't want to put any teams out there and then jinx us. So if you want to put us against X team or Y team, I have a confidence like no other year that Arizona can get the job done. Like Damon said, we'll be live tomorrow. Watch along for Selection Sunday, breaking everything down. Any other notes on tonight's game that you want to go over, Damon? Besides, go buy our shirts. Maybe go buy our shirts because our shirts are pretty fire. Maybe you want to go buy some of these sweet t-shirts. Bear down, Wilbur with our pod logo at the left. We run things because, 2-time champs is what we do. Embrace the chaos is the most chaotic time of the year. So make sure to support our pod by supporting these shirts. And most importantly, if you're going out to like a regional or a Final Four, no better way to rep than with our merch here on the AZ Wildcats pod. So like this video, get a shirt, become a Supporters Club member, drop your closer emojis right now in the chat. If you're a supporting club member, we dropped that yesterday in honor of Jaden Bradley. Hell, I might even make one after this stream for tomorrow that says Big 12 champs. Who knows? Who knows? The ASU pod would even like it because you can use it for the football fans too. So I might just do it. It's a unipod emoji.
I don't want to. Leave the love at the door, Kevin. It's all hate from my perspective over here. We won. You guys lose. You guys had to watch it. Ha ha. Arizona on top yet again, but
people love the closer, man. People love this mug.
Yeah,
smooth.
It's special.
Oh my God, smooth.
It's special. In regards to the conversation and the question I asked you, Kevin, I think I'm with you. Like ACC and Big Ten, obviously, is what I want. I wouldn't mind Illinois if that was the 2 seed. I'm not saying that that's like necessarily the team that I got circled, but I think if you could do a lot worse from a 2 seed perspective than getting Illinois. Although Michigan State would be chef's kiss. If they somehow sneak in with that last 2nd seed and Arizona was to get them, that would be special.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, have we done the? Oh wow. I will say this. This is a huge moment, chat. We have special guests walking in, but the lights out there have turned on, and they did not turn on in here like they've turned on all season. I think that's a sign.
Is that a good thing or a bad
thing? I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing because now that we've gotten the Cougar off our back of Kelvin Sampson, we have the mayor in the office.
Let's go! Biggest Arizona fan I know, Derek Montilla, who of course
Derek's saying bear down.
Shaboom.
Derek's just said bear down. Right,
of course has co-hosted on this podcast before because he loves his cats so much. But shout out to Derek. We love you, my guy, and shout out to Derek's lovely wife as well. So yeah, of course. Big 12 champs. Everyone's feeling the love over here. And you could just feel it in the air today. You going into downtown Phoenix, Kevin, more people than I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, everyone is certainly there for their Wildcats, no?
I was like, you feel it in the air tonight. I felt frustration in the air. I was literally coming in like, dude, this is the worst possible omen for the day. I'm 30 minutes late to the office because F1 is in town. Oh, F1? I don't even know what that is. Sorry, Ayrton. But I don't even know what that is. Ayrton literally named after an F1 driver. I'm here crapping all over his sport. But look, man, they clogged up the streets. I did not enjoy it. I texted Damon, which I rarely do about traffic. I texted Damon like, hey, buddy, yeah, I would leave your house a couple minutes early. It's a nightmare down here. But to your point,
it was.
I did see a bunch of people rocking their Arizona gear as they walked around town. If you were going to the F1, I almost said game. What do they call it? F1 race, F1 match, whatever it is. If you go to the race, I'm sure you wanted to rep your cats and then go to the bar and watch the game after. So everybody was out and about. I'm sure the Arizona fans are partying it up right now in Kansas City, Missouri, having all the good barbecue to soak up the alcohol. But Damon, what do we got going on in the chat right now? Sean celebrating Derek. Freckle Mamba saying we move. But yeah, look, this traffic tonight, Damon, was awful. But the Arizona Wildcats were amazing. And we move on to March Madness, the real tournament that we care about and covet so much.
Absolutely. Of course, if you want more of me, this guy, what we got going on here at PHNX Sports, follow this guy at Kevo Post. Follow me at Damon Dog. That's DAWG. And follow us at PHNX_Wildcats for our main account where we got just basically the hub of Arizona Wildcats athletics, I would call it, Kevin. Get in on that. And of course, follow our guy Ayrton as well at Freckled Mamba, which is easy to spell out. That is my goat.
Go Ayrton. Like all his tweets.
Of course.
If he posts something, you should be liking it.
Ayrton,
like it before you like my stuff.
I was going to save this for when we got off air, but I'm just going to toss it out here now. How about me throwing a little bit of views your way on that tweet? Are you looking at that guy? It's got 15K views right now.
I haven't had motion like this in years.
I mean, it's special. Ayrton's Twitter is back. Followed him at Freckled Mamba, which is perhaps I would say like I think
greatest one in the company.
I think Damon Dog was the best at name in the company. I'm biased, obviously. I got handle mogged by my guy Ayrton because Freckled Mamba is special. It really is. So Follow Ayrton, follow Kevin, follow me, follow us at PHNX_Wildcats. And we will be back live tomorrow for a Selection Sunday watch along, finding out what Arizona's bracket looks like in the West. Hopefully taking home maybe a number 1 overall seed, but we will see. We'll be reacting to it live with Saul, Kevin, Damon, and cannot wait for that. Guys, this is March. We sleep in May because it obviously bleeds into April. Shout out my guy, John Rothstein.
John Rothstein here with the outro to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We sleep in May.
We sleep in May, and Houston sleeps as losers tonight.
Arizona beats Houston, taking home a Big 12 conference tournament championship on top of their Big 12 regular season championship. Utter dominance from Tommy Lloyd's squad all year long. It's been an absolute honor to be covering it and just doing what we love up here every single day. So thank you so much. Drop a like on this video as we get on out of here, chat. Become a diehard. Hop in on the store.allcitynetwork.com to check out these brand new t-shirts that we got here, and like this video, subscribe to the channel in the meantime. For Damon, for Kevin, for Ayrton, for everyone here at PHNX Sports, we love you guys. Peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. We the Big 12 champs, baby.
We all silly like the mayor.